thank you. We're here with people. Estamos aquí con gente de la Shomer mundial, ¿sí? El secretario general del movimiento y el responsable para América Latina, el director para toda América Latina. En tiempos, digamos, convulsionados, tanto en Israel, México, Ucrania. Y justo empiezo con Ucrania porque acaban de estar la Shomer de México con un representante y mundial en Ucrania. ¿Haciendo qué?
Shomer existed in Ukraine for many years, and we have 3 kinim, one in Kharkov, Lviv, and Kiev. And when the war broke out, we chose to go to visit our members and to see how they are. We started touring the border from Hungary through Poland and to see how we can enter Ukraine, where are the best places, where we can bring trucks, how can we help. The first problem was that there was no money left in Ukraine. All the ATMs, all the banks were empty of money. Doesn't matter if you have it written that you have money in your bank account, nobody had money. So our first actions were finding cash money, distributing it around members of the movement and a few other circles. Then after there was no money, there was also no food. So we started checking how to bring trucks filled with food, equipment and medicine, and started sending them in Ukraine twice a week. Every truck had something like 4 to 5 tons of food equipment.
They came from all around Europe.
We started raising money, and also people donated direct goods. Our operation started in Hungary. It was easiest for us to buy things in Hungary and to send them into...
From Hungary, all right.
Then we saw that people need more help, so we established a network of volunteers, starting with the Judío and Bogota for Shomer Hatzair, helping from every single thing, from helping somebody evacuate their home, through finding documents, and even to help escaping from the bombarded cities. Our people established shelters in the basements of few houses and started distributing food and medicine to everybody who came, doesn't matter who wanted. One of the biggest challenges was electricity. Today the war and the defending parts...
Yes, there are things that we don't understand. We are not there, so we think they are war, but they are like living normal and they are fighting. And you go to work and it's normal, but it's not normal.
They don't go to work, nobody go to work, everything's bombarded. Most of the day you don't have electricity. So one of the first shipments we used to make were generators. We sent something like 130 generators just for people to be able to have cell phones and heating. The war started when it was still winter, minus 10, 15 degrees Celsius. And people had to warm up somehow. So no food, no electricity, no medicine. So our network of volunteers started helping with all these kind of things. We also rented apartments in the western parts of Ukraine, so people who are fleeing, running away, have places to stop. In the peak of this operation, we had something like 30 apartments where people could, through our volunteers, go and sleep the night and then plan what they're going to do next. We realized that many of the refugees are running away through Poland. So in a city called Przemyśl, 20 minutes next to the biggest checkpoint, we established a children center where mothers, it's usually mothers because men between the ages of 16 and 60 cannot go out of Ukraine because they need to be ready to go to the army. So most of the refugees are women, children and elderly people. And so they stop in this kind of refugee center and they need to decide what they're going to do for the rest of their lives because they had a chance they will never come back.
Sure.
So Europe is open to them.
Well, they can decide to go to the Shomer side. That's a good idea. No.
This is always a good option.
That's all right.
But refugees have to choose what country in Europe they want to go.
They can choose?
They can choose. Basically, they have working visa, but because they don't have the language, because they are a mother with children, they don't really go to work. So they reach to a European country and they get stuck, usually in train stations, and become homeless also there. But anyway, in this refugee center, we opened a room for children and young adults. And basically, we, Shomer Hatzair volunteers, worked very hard with the children, allowing the mothers to plan the next of the part of their journey, to meet social worker, to go for a second to the bathroom by themselves without days and weeks carrying.
How long were you there?
We're still there.
All right.
We started it after 6 days after the war started, and we're still active there till now.
There are people from Shomer Hatzair around the world, from Israel, or from where are they?
One of the challenges that we meet is to find good volunteers, but also to do it as cheap as possible for us to be able to do it as long as we can. We had volunteers coming from many countries all over Europe and Israel. We even have Arturo Kerbel from Mexico that is currently in London, so he could come with his wife Tamara also.
They were both there.
Both of them volunteered, both of them are social workers, did an amazing job, represented the Mexican community with great pride. The activity there continues. As long as they're going to be refugees, we're going to be there. In the middle of July, we actually are going to make a summer camp for Ukrainian children. We're going to take them, with the permission of their parents of course, out of Ukraine to Poland. We're going to give them 2 weeks of some rest, and then they're going to go back to their families in Ukraine. We also start now building, together with the City Hall of Kharkov, a center for the next stage of the process, when there's a Cold War, or hopefully when the war will be over, so we can take care of the children, also feed them, and allow the parents to go to work and to start recovering their lives.
What can Mexico do to help in that way? Because we have been helping and sending things and collaborating, and it has gone Cadena, and it has gone some volunteers, but can Mexico be part of Shomer Hatzair in Ucrania and help?
First of all, Cadena are amazing. I'm sure you know it better than I do. We work very nearby each other, and Cadena are an amazing organization. Look, many ways people can help. Sending goods is the last option, I think, because burning fuel with airplanes is hurting the environment and doesn't really help. Better, if you want to donate something, you donate money and people can buy in Poland or Ukraine, strengthening the local economy and give the same things, probably in cheaper price. But there are many other ways people can help. First of all, people in Ukraine are afraid that their story is going to be forgotten, that nobody talks about them anymore. That
That's interesting.
The narrative, the Russian narrative is prevailing, and that they're out of the news already. So I think if a Ukrainian person could ask you in any type of special help, it is to keep the story alive, talking about it, finding somebody you know in Ukraine, sharing information. Keep this strategy in the part of the knowledge of the people, and don't let them be forgotten. Another thing, people can contact Cadena or Shomer Hatzair to see if they can come and volunteer. For sure, if somebody is sponsoring their arrival to Poland, the gates and the doors are open for volunteers in many kinds, and we'll be more than happy to include people who want to come to volunteer.
Like at Noah, a young movement, what is the importance of being Shomer? I know, helping people is very important, but like a young movement from Israel, from around the world, what is the importance for Shomer Hatzair and all these Nuot and all these young people who can go help to be part of this mission in Ucrania?
For us, number one reason was that we are there for our family. We have brothers and sisters from Shomer Hatzair. Wherever in the world that be Shomrim and Shomrot in need, we will be there. This is our number one reason to do it so urgently, because there are sadly a lot of strategies around the world, but for sure, family comes first. Second of all, Tikkun Adam, Tikkun Olam. We try to do our best in many. Shomer Hatzair is working today in 27 countries around the world, and everywhere in those countries where there is a challenge, our people are doing their best in order to be relevant and to come and to help people, no matter who they are, what are their origins. We want to be relevant to the people who need help. Third thing, I think that people that develop empathy, people who volunteer as part of the Jewish values of Tikkun Adam and Tikkun Olam, will be better people, will be people that care about their environment. So those projects are super important, and it's important to go to help those people in Ukraine, and it's important that our people in Brazil go and help in the favelas, and as important it is our people in Russian-speaking countries that, let's say, are under Muslim regime, like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, are promoting feminism and women's rights. And as every place we're active in, we try to see how can we be relevant and do our best to convince our people to do the extra effort in order to help others.
De hecho en los últimos meses, cuando visitamos países donde trabajamos en Latinoamérica, trajimos esta historia a escuelas judías, claramente nuestro movimiento, para intentar incentivar, para intentar crear esta participación, involucramiento de la gente, exactamente como Oren dijo, traer esta historia, compartir, entender que existe eso y que tenemos la capacidad y quizás la obligación de hacer algo. Entonces, si es donar dinero, que hicimos algunas campañas en algunos países para apoyar este proyecto tan importante, y también de los procesos educativos y el trabajo local, entendiendo que si estamos haciendo esto para una tragedia que está ocurriendo en el otro lado del mundo, es un ejemplo y de nuevo una iniciativa para hacer cosas que podemos hacer también acá en nuestro continente y que no falta injusticias o cosas que podemos y debemos ser parte para hacer este Tikkun Olam que tan queremos hacer.
Ya que hablas del trabajo local y hablas de educación y hablas de Latinoamérica y hablas de México, claro, justamente la pregunta va ahora, México, Shomer Atzair, ¿hacia dónde va? ¿Qué se puede hacer? Porque es una labor importante de muchos años que lleva Shomer Atzair en México, con sus altas, sus bajas, pero sigue, ahí está. ¿Qué se puede hacer con la juventud en México para que esté involucrada en Shomer Atzair?
Entonces, primero me parece importante que la juventud esté involucrada en la actividad juvenil. No faltan organizaciones acá, los espacios. Claro que Shomer Atzair es un espacio abierto, importante, en el cual niños, niñas, jóvenes pueden ser más conscientes de lo que está pasando en el mundo, más involucrados en lo que está pasando en su comunidad, su sociedad, y no quedar en una indiferencia que lamentablemente para mí es lo más peligroso que existe hoy en día. Si la gente viene a estos espacios, tienen la oportunidad, más allá de participar en un espacio judío, sionista, un espacio social importante para su vida, creo que también es un espacio educativo y de participación, de activismo, y donde una joven pueden crecer y tornarse líderes de nuestra comunidad y personas activas y que pueden influenciar su vida y el mundo donde viven. Entonces estamos abiertos y estamos haciendo diferentes actividades tanto en el espacio del movimiento juvenil como en el espacio de lo que llamamos movimiento de vida, lo que viene después, cuando termino el ciclo nuevo de movimiento juvenil. Tengo la oportunidad de continuar y participar como grupos de estudiantes, como familias jóvenes, como también personas más adultas, más viejas. No parar de participar y de educarse y de contribuir y ser parte, primero acá, de lo que está pasando en México, en Latinoamérica, pero también en otros lugares en el mundo. Y creo que todo el movimiento de la Tnuá en Latinoamérica en torno de esa historia triste y difícil en Ucrania, en algún lugar nos ayudó volver a creer en nuestra capacidad de hacer la diferencia y hacer algo importante que puede cambiar esta situación tan difícil, también si es poco a poco, crear una realidad diferente.
Muy bien. Ya que hablamos de una realidad diferente, ya que hablamos de esa pequeña diferencia de labor, de qué es importante, bueno, tenemos hoy aquí al Mazkir general de la Shomer Atzair, al director para América Latina. ¿Qué puede esperar la gente de Shomer Atzair México y de la comunidad judía en México en apoyo en que esto funcione y que se le dé una nueva vida a la Shomer y que esto tenga una nueva? ¿Qué esperamos de eso y qué puede esperar la gente de la comunidad para ver todo esto?
Entonces, como parte de nuestras visitas, nuestro trabajo como Comunidad mundial, venimos a nuestras comunidades para entender la situación. No tuvimos acá mucho tiempo por la pandemia y es una oportunidad de entender la realidad actual, las necesidades que existen en la comunidad, en las posibilidades, las oportunidades que existen acá, y no son pocas. En este tiempo estamos trabajando junto con el liderazgo juvenil y adulto de la comunidad Shomer, la comunidad de Shomer Atzair, para ver cómo podemos ser un espacio más relevante de judaísmo humanista, de sionismo, por la paz, un lugar que lucha por los derechos humanos, por igualdad, todo lo que es parte de la ideología de la Shomer Atzair, nuestra educación de valores, y como dije antes, no solo en el ámbito del movimiento juvenil, sino junto también con otros grupos y con otras comunidades, abrir espacios de educación, de realización para jóvenes, para adultos. Espero que podamos en conjunto encontrar los temas y las pautas relevantes que nos pueden ayudar a ser relevantes, primero para la gente de acá y también, y no menos importante, gente que hoy en día no tiene ni un vínculo, lo que llamamos unaffiliated, gente que no tiene un vínculo pero que son judíos, judías, gente que muchas veces a Shomer Atzair puede ser un espacio, el último espacio de vínculo judío. Para nosotros es una misión muy importante y por eso buscamos en todos lados donde podemos hacer un trabajo significativo, relevante, atractivo, que para que la gente sea parte de eso. Sabemos que acá en México City es muy desafiante el movimiento de un lugar para el otro en la ciudad durante la semana. Estamos pensando cómo estar en diferentes espacios, lugares, con diferentes ofertas de trabajo cultural, educacional, social, que pueda atraer de nuevo gente de todas las edades que se identifican con el trabajo y con valores e ideales de Shomer Atzair.
Like Mazkir,
Look, Mexico is a very important community for Shomer Atzair. It's true that Shomer Atzair was facing some challenges here, and the corona, the COVID did not help. But we are very optimistic because we have good people here. We have Moise Onana, the Shaliach here, that is a local, enthusiastic educator, and together with the Bagut and Anhaga, and together with Association Civil of the movement, it looks like that everybody together are eager to find solutions for Shomer Atzair to become a significant movement once again. It's a significant movement always for its members, but sadly we didn't have enough in recent years. So we come here to meet together the adults of Shomer Atzair, the Bogot and Bogrim of Shomer Atzair, and the world movement, and together we're building a strategy how to once again spark the fire of Shomer Atzair in Mexico, and we are very optimistic, and we're here to show solidarity, we're here to show that we care, and it's time for the movement to flourish once again.
thank you very much for being here. It's important for the young to have this option, to have other options, not just to learn, to practice, to connect with Israel, like you said, also to be part of this world in a different way. And now with Ucrania, you're helping and other places. We remember that Shomer Atzair started, were people from Shomer Atzair who started the let's say, revolution in the ghetto of Varsovia, and in many other places. So it doesn't matter if it's Shomer Atzair or other, but it's important to the young people to be involved in the work, in the community and outside for all the people.
El mensaje importante, no recordar solo estas historias que estás, sino crear también un futuro mejor mejor y eso es responsabilidad de todos y todas nosotros.
Muchísimas gracias.
חזק ואמץ.
Gracias, claro.